Hello everyone, and welcome to my solo RPG journal. Today we are back for game 2 of round 2, or mission 2, of the Age of Fantasy Skirmish campaign game that we are playing. We're playing sort of a tournament campaign game thing. Just me, by myself, playing 4 different factions off against each other. So, we have just finished to mission 1, where everyone has had a turn, and gone into mission 2. We have faced off the Litwin Scouts against the Autumn Expedition. So that's we've just faced off the Litwin Scouts against the Autumn Expedition. The Autumn Expedition won that game quite clearly, wiping the Litwin Scouts off the board. The Litwin Scouts had a few difficulties, one of them ending up caught and taken as a slave and had to be brought back after the game. Otherwise, they did rather poorly, losing all of their units rather quickly. And I think that the first one to fall was Alora Litwin herself, the leader of the group, or the hero of the group. The Autumn Expedition fared a lot better, lost a couple of units, but stayed on the board. However, no one died. So everyone will be back for the next go. However, this time around, we are facing Klara's Horde. The Vampire Lord Klara's Undead Horde is facing off against Chavel's Troupe. The Human Champion, I believe, Houston Chavel, and his knights, soldiers, I don't know, guys with swords and bows, or crossbows in this instance. Looking at the leaderboard, because 2 games have been played by 2 warbands, and 1 game has been played by another, the final scores are a little bit lower for the Litwin Scouts and the Autumn Expedition. However, that's because we divide the number of victory points by the number of games. So while the Litwin Scouts and the Autumn Expedition are behind at around 4 points, or 3.5 points. After this game is over, for Chavel's Troupe to stay in the lead, they will have to do just as well as they did last time. But this also gives Klara's Horde an opportunity to catch up. So, skipping deployment, we have... Skipping doing deployment on the thing, I've gone and deployed and put objectives down and determined that Klara will be going first. So, going over what's on the board, we have objectives in locations up here for Objective 1, here behind these rocks for Objective 2, and here behind these trees for Objective 3. Objective 4 is located here behind these rocks. Here, just in cover, is Objective 5, and Objective 6 is at the mouth of the ravine. So, what deployment has then occurred with Klara deploying first, deploying the Vampire Lord Klara herself and her ghouls, ready to charge over the rocks into the ravine itself. Her skeleton warrior things ready to come in and take this objective and then move around. And the spearmen ready to hold this mouth to the ravine, this entrance into the ravine. Now, Chavel's troops have all lined up here, deploying to respond to Klara and to take this point here. Now, I've also got this. This is the underdog. It's just a token for me to track the underdog points that the Chavel Troupe, the Chavel what were they called? Chavel's Troupe. I had that right. So the Chavel's Troupe is a 150 point warband. Klara's Horde is a 180 point warband. So, Chavel's Troupe, being 30 points lower in point cost to Klara's Horde, is getting 3 underdog points. Underdog points, assuming I remember to use them, allow me to raise or lower a single die roll by 1 point, but I can only use one at a time. It has to be one of my own die rolls. So while I'm playing Chavel's Troupe, we can increase our rolls by a little bit or decrease them. Now, despite the point difference, Klara's Horde do not have any ranged attacks. So until they get across and close the gap, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. That said, it shouldn't be, with a few more models on the board, I don't know that it's going to really make the difference. None of the troops on either side are particularly strong. However, the ghouls having poison as a thing might make them a little bit tankier than anything else on Chavel's side. So, I've gone and rolled missions for starting missions for both sides. They both have the special objective Rage. That is to say that they are both wanting to draw first blood, being the first side to wipe a unit off the board. Klara's Horde then drew 3 missions. I had to discard 1 because Chavel's Troupe did not have... forgotten what the card's called now, but it wants you to kill a unit with tough 5. Chavel's Troupe do not have a single unit with tough 5, so it is impossible to complete, so I've just discarded it. And instead drawn Outflank. Outflank wants them to end the turn, having kept Chavel's Troupe, the opponent, away from the center of the board, either 6 or 12 inches, depending on how many points I want to score. I also have Seize 1 and Seize 3, which are quite simple for Klara's Horde to do, because they are right next to her deployment zone. Chavel's Troupe, on the other hand, have Seize 1, Seize 6, and Hold 4. 4 is straight up something that they're going to be able to take pretty quickly. Seizing 6 is also close to their deployment zone, but not something that they've currently got any troops near. So it's going to be easy to see how I manage that. Seize 1, however, interestingly enough, is over here, next at the opposite side, near Klara's deployment zone, and near where she's got a lot of her troops, including her spearmen. So that will be an interesting challenge, assuming I decide to stick with it. So now that we've gone over the deployment, we've gone over the missions that we've got, it's time to start round 1. So, Klara's move first. The first thing that she probably wants to do right now, I'm just thinking about the positioning of the crossbowmen will not have a shot at anyone as they are currently, except for these guys. So Klara is just going to move these forward to here. This puts them within the 3 inches that they need in order to take the objective. It also gives them... Let's move them over here a little bit, actually. So it was here. I don't need to measure that. So, no one's going to be able to see them. They are within the requisite 3 inches to capture that point. And they're now going to have... Ooh. Put them there. As much cover as possible. Which does then bring us to Orton's turn. Now, his objectives are... Seize 1, seize 6, and hold 4. So I need to take 4 this round so I can hold it next turn. I'm actually wondering if it's worth trying to... Because if I do the double move thing, I can get there. What is 3 inches? So I need to have 1 model here. Unit cohesion needs models within 2 of each other. I mean, I think I should allow that. I just need to check. I probably should just press that. However, it will not be close enough to take that, to seize that. So we're just going to give up on that and move them the full 12 inches. I actually don't remember where he was to begin with. So I'm going to put them here. They're going to be able to seize 6. I actually think that they probably were able to get up. That's kind of 12 inches. I'm not sure exactly where they were. Having this drop gives them an extra 2 inches of movement. Knowing that, I'll move them up to here, but I'm not sure how much further I should be moving them because I cannot remember for the life of me where they actually were. I should have marked that. But I think that that's probably close enough. So we will have another turn where, let's see, what's 12? 12 is there. Cool. So I can move these guys to be... Oh, hang on. This is difficult. As long as they're there, it's fine. Okay. I think we're going to get to be around here. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take the objective without providing line of sight. So we'll move you around here. Damn it. Okay, so they're going to have to... I'm trying to make it so that if if the if Chavel's troops, the Orton guys, they're the bloody dwarves. If Chavel's troop want to shoot anyone this turn, I'm trying to make it so that they have to put their crossbowmen anywhere other than up here. They might have a little bit of leniency, but I don't think I think I'm just going to say that I can't shoot through those trees. So that is that turn, and it is now time to move troops from Chavel's thing, and I'm just going to charge, essentially. It's not a charge, because a charge is a particular kind of move where we're actually attacking someone, but... We're coming for these guys. I don't know if that's a good idea, but that is what we are doing. So, next up, the question is, what do we want to move? And we do want to move these guys. I mean, we don't actually have... Do we want to move these guys at all? Maybe we can actually just hold a unit. Because we're going to capture these 3 turns. Where is the center of the board, actually? Let me just establish what the center of the board is. It's like 24 is here somewhere. Near those rocks. Okay, so this is kind of 24. So this is 6 inches within the center, because we're trying to get people... one of the objectives is to make sure that they do not go within 6 inches of this. Or... 12 inches of the center. Okay. I have a feeling that I'm losing that one. I'm not going to be able to do that unless I get rid of... Yeah, those crossbowmen are going to end up standing within 12. That is just going to be how that's going to work. So I won't be... I can probably score that at the end of the turn, but only for 1 point for doing the 6 inches. So... yeah, potentially what I actually want to do is start moving around this way. So 12 inches for you is here. Which, yeah, still gives them that thing. And now we've got these swordsmen pretty much almost by themselves against some spearmen and some ghouls. Which, coming back to Chavel's turn, does actually suggest that the way forward... is to do the same thing. I mean, I could charge into the center to stop that from being scoreable, but I know that Klara's Horde is going to score some of the other objectives anyway. So I think it just makes sense to come along here, because to get in with the fight that is about to happen. So then, for Klara, the question becomes, where do we put the rest of these units? And I'm going to move these here. These models are really nice because they have such a low profile. So that's 3 inches. They're not moving even 6 inches, so we're getting a little bit closer to the action while staying out of line of sight. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe I do want to... Yep. So they're staying with out of line of sight. But they're closer to the action, so they will be better able to respond and probably be in it by round 3. So that leaves for the Chavel's troop this lot. So their max move is about there. Whoa. So they can get up there, and that's clearly within the 3 inches required to take that. So I'm just going to toss them all up there. And I'm actually going to say that they don't have line of sight to anything. But it does put them within 12 of this, so I cannot score 2 victory points. Klara cannot score 2 victory points this round. Now, the point I've got to make, the decision I've got to make for Klara is, what do I do with Klara herself? She can charge over this way in order to join up with this fight here. With Chavel there, the champion there, her forces are probably outmatched. However, she could come after these crossbowmen. And she'd be able to get pretty close to them, but would not be able to actually attack them. She has no ranged weapons. And she's not a necromancer like I originally thought. She is a vampire lord, which means she doesn't have spells, so she can't actually attack anyone this round. What it does mean, however, if she does that, she will be going second in round 2. So the first thing that I'm likely to do, I think that the likely thing to do first is just to shoot her with the crossbowmen to actually try and make use of their ranged attacks. Though, yeah, that could work. I'm just measuring the distance between the ghouls and Chavel because the thing to do there is to... The potential counterplay is to go, all right, you haven't moved Chavel first, which means that you're not going to get first attack. So these ghouls, which, while from memory they hit on 5s, I should actually look at what they do. They hit on 5s. However, any 6s multiply into 3 wounds. Any hit on 6 multiplies it to 3 wounds because of poison. And they've got 2 attacks. So that's 6 attacks hitting on 5, 6s become 3s. So I could potentially get a bunch of wounds in on the hero. Now, he does have... He's only got a 4-up save, which means that they could actually chew through him reasonably quickly. The marksmen have rending, which is a special rule. Unmodified rolls of 6 to hit count as having AP 4 and ignore the regeneration rule. So they could actually take I mean, I'm unlikely to roll 3 6s, but they could do a lot of damage either way to both heroes. However, if I come over here, then we've just got a hero slogging match. That does, yeah, actually, that's probably the better thing to do. I have a feeling, though, if I do this... Yep. No, that's fine, I think. It'll have to hit on... They have to hit on 6s anyway. I don't want to be attacked by those crossbowmen. I mean, the crossbowmen will basically die if I go the other way. No, I've done it. I've made the move. This is what we are sticking with. So, that's the end of round 1. We need to score some objectives. So, objective 1 belongs to Klara. Objective 2 belongs to Klara. And objective 3 belongs to Klara. Objective 4 belongs to... Are we going red for humans? Is that what we're doing? I think that's what I've done in the past. Belongs to Chavel. Objective 5 belongs to no one, but objective 6 also belongs to Chavel. So, scoring objectives on round 1. Klara has seized 1, so we're going to score that. And that scores for 1 victory point. Chavel has seized 6. And so we are going to score that for 1 point. So each team ending round 1 is on an equal scoring. And that brings us to round 2. Now, because Chavel went second, it is Chavel's turn. So it is probably at this point that I want to use these archers. I think that the only thing that's really visible is Klara. However, she's going to have the bonus for half cover. Let me just check how that worked again. Weapons. Melee, shooting sequence, rolling to hit, rolling to block. Something about cover. I know that, here we go, cover terrain. Terrain features that models can hide in or behind that could stop projectiles count as cover. If the majority of models in a unit are in or behind a piece, then it's -1 to their hit rolls. So, has to hit on a 6, unmodified. And they have the rending rule. So on unmodified 6s, they shots count as having AP 4. So 3 crossbow bolts to hit Klara, only on 6s. No 6s, no hits. She is fine. Okay, so... Oh, hang on. I've jumped the gun. Both, I don't want that. I need to roll single dice. Both sides scored. So Klara pulls a new objective, 24, which is C's objective 4, which is this one here. Or the Chavel also needs to pull a new objective. He is pulling C's 1. Now he's got C's 1, but he has 21. He has 11 as opposed to 21. This is definitely possible. And I pulled 24, I believe it was. C's 4. So I've got Klara's got a pretty good spot in that she's got 3 objectives that she can just score this turn, each worth 1 point. Chavel is likely to gain 2 points this turn as long as he can hold 4. However, Klara's coming for it. So oh, no, it's an unmodified. Yeah, there's no point in using... Okay, so now that we've both got the things, I did just have a recollection. Chavel has 3 underdog points, which I do believe could make it so that one of the shots hit. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make her roll for that because she has a 3-up save. It would not be an unmodified 6. So we wouldn't get the rending, so it wouldn't really hurt her. It's not likely to do much damage. So what we're going to do is let... Now, I do not believe that I have seen any rules about interposing models and moving around models like this. I think that this is fine. I am aware that I could go for the attack and try and attack the... I could probably make short work of these foot soldiers with the ghouls, but we're going to try and do as much damage as we can. No, actually, I've got the first blood thing. Everyone's got the first blood rage special rule that they are special objective that they are trying to meet. So I'm instead of going straight for the hero, I am going to try and wipe out these foot soldiers. And we're going to do that by rolling 6 attacks from these ghouls, hitting on 5s, but on 6s, they multiply wounds. So, let's see how we do. 2 6s. 2 6s and 4 1s. So, let's make sure we're doing this right. This is the poison rule. Poison special rule, which I'm just not saying. When rolling an unmodified 6 to hit, that hit is multiplied by 3. So, they have to make 6 saves on 5 ups. Okay. So they make 3 of those saves, but 3 of them do go through. So we see 2 of these coming straight off the board. And one of them has 1 wound, which we now have to roll to see if that carries through. 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So it is knocked down. And now, what was the push rule? Special movement pushing. Whenever a model rolls a stunned result, the attacker may try to push it away. Roll 1 die, and on a 4+, the attacker may move the model by up to 2 inches in any direction. I failed that. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to move these ghouls back. And that is the end of their activation. Now, something that I have missed was I was going to put dice next to models to say whether or not they had been activated. Blue for the activation, the D12 for the activation, and the D4 to say whether or not they had attacked. So, moving on, it is Orton's go now. Not Orton, Chavel. I'm stuck on Orton, I really am. It is Chavel's turn now. And so I think the thing to do is to activate this knight. It needs to record the wound so that he stands up. He does that. He stands up at the end of his turn. He's no longer stunned, but it means that he will get an attack back. Well, assuming no one does any wounds to him. I can't just charge him now in melee and wipe him out outright. So, with his activation over, chuck a die down on him and come back to Chavel's turn, Klara's turn. I don't really care for making that move. I mean, the place that everything is happening is definitely over here. However, it might be... Yeah, I think I just want to try and... Ooh. I can get that to happen. I want to get this guy out of the game because that's an extra 10 experience for me. So we've got the spearmen all attacking the knight. 5s to hit. Okay, so we've got 2 hits, so he's got to defend 2 wounds. He defends one of them, so he's taking another wound. And he has got to 4, 5, 6. Let me just check the wound table. On a 6, he is knocked out, so he is out of the game. And Klara has drawn first blood. I am going to move him back because I'm supposed to leave an inch between models. But that means that I have been activated. I could have just used this one. In fact, I'm going to throw that one away. And they have attacked. So it is Chavel's turn again. Now, I think that the biggest risk to Chavel is these ghouls. So he is going to maneuver his way around to the other side of them and attack them. Now, he is a champion, a human champion. He has a great weapon. 3 attacks, AP 2. They hit on. He has a quality of 3, so he hits on 3s. He does not have Furious or anything like that, so he's just getting the raw 3 attacks. He gets 3 hits. They are AP 2, so the ghouls have to save on 6s. Okay. We have 2 of them go through, and the ghouls take 1 hit. Sorry. The ghouls lose 2 models, but make 1 save. So he's going to turn around and hit back at Chavel. Oh, because he's already activated, because he's already attacked, he has to hit on a 6. However, he does have that poison rule. So, Chavel has to make 3 wound saves, and he's got a defense of 4. So, 4 ups to not take the wounds. He takes 1 wound. And he has to retreat an inch. That actually looks to be an inch high. So, he's going to get up here. As part of, he was the attacker, so he retreats an inch. And let's put a marker on him. And another marker on him. So this is going to mean that he is, in order to attack him now, I'm going to have to jump up here. But I do believe that I can do that without issues. Charging him. Now, the Vampire Lord, Klara, has a quality of 3. She has Furious. She has a hand weapon with 4 attacks, and it is AP 1. So, she gets 5 attacks, because Furious gives her an extra attack when she is the aggressor, I believe. Hitting on 3s. So that is 4 go through. And he has to make these. They're AP 1. So he has to make these on a 5 up. Okay, he does in fact make 2 of the saves. But he does take 1 wound. Now, can... Oh, I didn't position her correctly. I can't drop her off the side, which means that the archers are going to get a proper shot at her. Now, everyone has gone over here. The crossbowmen have gone. The only people that have not activated are the spearmen. So, they are going to move up 12. I actually made a mistake when I was playing for Klara a while ago, and I was looking at these skeletons and moving them up. And actually, that is what I should have done, because it's now Klara's turn, and I may as well respond to that move. And I may as well respond by charging. I may as well, but I don't have to. And I don't really care about taking that objective. So actually, I'm going to be smart, and I'm not going to. I'm going to I'm not even going to move there. I'm not going to even move these troops now that I'm thinking about it. They're just going to stand there. If you want this objective, you have to come and fight me for it. Because, now the reason I'm doing this is because they have flanks. So I would have to make a test, which I could probably pass pretty easy, but I have to make it per model, but to see if they take wounds. If they did take wounds, then I'd essentially lose them off the board before even fighting. But that's only if I charge them. If they charge me, then everything's fine, and they're basically the same as normal. They're basically the same model at that point. So they're not going to bother moving. They are going to stay close enough to the objective to keep whatchamacallit. I may as well count that as their activation. I'm not going to put a thing down because we're just going... There's only one model, one unit left on the board that hasn't activated. That is these guys. So, for... they're going to just charge straight across this gap. Yeah, so 6 inches to get there. We get to the 2 free inches. Now, you only have to make the falling roll if you fall more than 3 inches. So I'm not making it, though I am considering that maybe that's 6 inches. I get another 6 inches, which actually gets me up here. And you know what? I don't think that they can get shot at. I think that they are too hidden by the cover. I think they've got cover from that, and they don't have line of sight unless they move forward. They won't be able to get shot at by the crossbowmen. And, well, the crossbowmen have a clear target. So, that brings us to the end of round 2. We need to look at objectives again. So, this hasn't changed hands. This has not changed hands. Objective 2 has not changed hands. Objective 4 is still not owned by anyone. Objective 3 and Objective 6 have not changed hands. Every one has activated, and we need to look at objectives. So let's actually say success. Round 2. Success round 2. And that was the skeletons. No, hang on. That was the... Yeah. Skeletons. No, the spearmen. The skeleton spearmen. Killed. Spearmen. No, it was the swordsman. The spearmen, Chavel's spearmen are at the other side, and this was in round 2. And that is the only unit that has come off the board. I think that's the only thing that's going to matter for XP. We can look at seizing 3, because we still hold that at the end of the round. Outflank, we still can score it, but we'd only get 1 victory point, whereas if we take this, then we get 2. So we're going to... Klara is... Ooh, what happened there? Oh, God. Spearmen. Killed spearmen unit. On round 2, and we're going to write that. Then we're going to claim... Seize 3. I think that's fine, even though I seized it in the last round. I still hold it. Chavel's Troupe have not wiped anything off the board. That ghoul is still there. So we don't have any events to record. However, we can say that we held 4. Objective 4 was this one, and hold is worth 2 victory points. So, looking at the scoreboard, Chavel's Troupe is now in the lead, even though they have lost a unit. Now, they don't have to worry about morale yet because they are not down to half of their number of units. That will be once they've lost the next unit and they're down to 2 units. At the moment, everything is fine, and we're now ready for round 2. No, that was round 2. We're now ready for round 3. Now, the first thing I need to do before we start is draw new cards for everyone. Draw new missions for everyone. So, rolling first for Chavel because it is his turn first. 55. And then for Klara, 56. Okay, so 55 and 56. 55 is Terrify. 1 enemy unit fails a morale test. 3 or more enemy units fail a morale test. Okay. And 56, Arcane Channeling. Successfully cast or block 1 magic spell. Okay, that is impossible. So Klara is going to get to redraw. 50 something. 55, they're both going to get Terrify. Now, should I actually... I'm going to let Chavel redraw that because it is impossible for the Undead to fail morale. $51, okay. Volley Fire. Destroy 1 enemy unit with a ranged attack. Destroy 3 or more enemy units with a ranged attack. Well, I'm not going to get 2 victory points out of that, but that's okay. That was 51 is Volley Fire. And 55 is Terrify, I believe. So again, I don't think we're going to... There's not enough units on the board for to get more than 1 victory point out of that, but that is okay. It is now Orton's turn first. Orton. Chavel. It is now Chavel's turn first. So that, I'm glad that I drew those because that changes a few things. The first thing to do is potentially, I was going to shoot at the hero, Klara, the Vampire Lord Klara there, because I can do quite a bit of damage ranged with her to her. Hitting on 6s, that's probably still the best bet. I mean, I can get an extra victory point by just shooting that ghoul down, and that he'll probably just die. But so victory point wise, I get to score something is my point. Whereas this round, I need to seize 1. I can't see that happening. I've got seize 1 twice. In fact, I'm going to discard. I'm gonna let this happen because nothing's been rolled yet. So we're going to discard 1 of those. You can discard 1 thing every round. 15. So seize 5. That's actually a doable thing. It's not. So I can seize 5 this turn. Chavel's Troupe can seize 5 this turn. I was able to discard this because you are allowed to discard 1 every at the end of every turn. Nothing yet has happened, so this objective is objective 5. All I need to do is move some troops over close enough to it so that I can seize it. Now, the question is it worth doing? I probably foolishly moved these troops away because I could have gotten them back up here. And I want to do it this turn. Movement won't have an effect on shooting, I don't think. I should check that. Yep, there is no rule about movement. So we are actually going to... That's not enough. That's not... I don't think that's enough of a fall to get that extra 2 inches of movement. But that is 6 inches for this guy here. And that is going to be well within the 3 inches required. And he's still going to be able to shoot Klara. So everyone is going to shoot at Klara. 3 shots, hitting on 5s. But 6s... Oh, shit. Okay, so she's got to roll these 2 things separately. First of all, rolling for that 5, she has a... Vampire Lord. Defensive 3. So she makes that 1. However, the other 2, the ones that hit on 6s, the crossbows have the rending special... No, not that one here. They have the rending thing, so they basically have AP 4. She has a quality of 3, so 3, 4, 5, 6. She can only save on 6s for these 2 attacks, not 3 attacks. God damn it. How do you... Ah, okay, you can... If you right-click on the... Okay. I can get less dice. There we go. I've learnt something. Apparently by right-clicking on the die like that you're clicking on, it'll make it smaller. So she rolls 2 3s, which means that she takes 2 wounds. That is not good for her. However, it is now Klara's turn. And I have this ghoul standing here. So the ghoul is going to get up here and attack Chavel himself. It has 2 attacks, hitting on 5s. 2 4s. So I miss both times. So what I'm wondering is if I can actually choose to not attack back. Melee. The defending unit may choose to strike back. However, after an attacking... yes, so I am going to choose... if I hit him, then I knock a unit out. And knocking the unit out will get him some XP at the end of the game. However, I might be able to knock... No, I'm not going to attack. So he's going to retreat the inch. And it is then Chavel's turn. So we're over here. Chavel's going to turn around. I'm going to improve this facing. And Chavel is going to attack Klara. Chavel, the human champion, has 3 attacks with a great weapon, quality 3. He hits twice. However, this is where this comes in, and I use one of these points, the underdog points, to bring up that 2 to a 3. Was that what I rolled? Yep. So I can bring up this 2 to a 3 and hit Klara with 3 dice that she has to defend. He is playing with a great weapon, so he has AP 2, making her 3 up, a 5 up. Where are we? Yeah, making her 3 up, a 5 up. That's just a 1 single die. There we go, 3 dice. Not sure where they all went. So, okay, she takes 2 wounds. Because the AP2 set her save to 5. She is on 4 wounds and has to make a wound check. She has rolled a 1, which means that she is safe, or she's knocked down. I'm not going to move her. I'm going to retreat an inch. It is now Klara's activation, so she is going to stand up because that knockdown is really shit. Okay. It comes back to Chavel's turn, and he only has this unit to... Oh, I've not done any of the markers. Let's really quickly put some of these down. I moved you, and I have activated you, and I have... What are you doing? I've activated you, and I have attacked with you. I have activated you, and I have attacked with you. I have activated Klara, and I have activated and attacked with this ghoul. So, last unit to activate for Chavel are these guys here, the spearmen. Now, thinking for Chavel, there isn't actually... They're over here, so they can't do very much. Except fight these guys. Or retreat. Looking at points... I think that they're going to hold, because it keeps them in the game. If they come in over here, then they're going to risk... It's better for them to not charge these guys. So Klara can fight them if she wants, but it's not in their best interest to die. So they're going to just hold there and stare down those skeletons. That, however, does do a few things. First of all, Klara's got a couple of choices to make with these 2 units. Well, there's no choice to make for this unit. Everyone knows what's happening with this unit. This unit is getting up and attacking the crossbowmen. So let's get that out of the way. They have 6 attacks, 2 each, hitting on 5s and 6s. Okay, so we have 2 5s and 1 6, which is 5 wounds that they have to defend against. They have a quality of 5. A defense of 5, sorry. So, 4 wounds go through. Let me just double check the marksman's... They have a defense of 6, not 5. However, that doesn't matter for the roll they made. They only made 6. So 4 wounds go through. We're keeping this model on the board because it is closest to that one. However, it has 2 wounds. So I need to roll 1d6 plus those wounds, and it needs to be lower than 6. That is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. 2 wounds. It is off the board. They are out of the game. I just want to check the consolidation rules. If one of the 2 units is destroyed, then the other unit may move by up to 3 inches. Else the charging units must move back by 3. So they're going to move. Just going to bring them in line here. They're going to move here to take this objective. There are no other units. Let me... oh, there we go. There's already some markers there, so we know that they have gone. There are no other units on Chavel's side. So... the spearmen are going to turn around and have a go at Chavel. They hit on 5s. You get 1 hit in that he has to defend on a 4-up, I believe is his defense. 2. Let me just double check that. His defense is a 4-up, so he is going to take 1 wound, which brings him to 3, which means that he now has to start making the quality checks. If he rolls a 5, he is out. Okay, he is stunned. And we're going to push him. We are going to attempt to push him in any direction. We fail doing that, so we are going to retreat back 1 inch. Move there to keep unit cohesion. Okay. The only other unit on the board is this one. However, I don't see the point in making that attack at this moment. So they're going to hold. We're going to end round 3. And the first thing to do is morale. Route tests. At the end of any round, if an army is down to half of its starting units or less, then all of its units must take a morale test. If the test is failed, the unit immediately routes and remove it from play. Now, stunned. The model is stunned until the end of its next activation. Place it on its side to show this. Stunned models fail morale tests automatically and must stay idle. If a stunned model... Yeah, so... he's failing the morale test automatically without rolling... So he's just out of the game. It does mean, however, that he doesn't have to roll to see if he's dead or not. Now, these guys have to roll a morale test. They have a quality of 5. They make it. They are on the board still. So, the next thing to do is... this is not changed hands. None of those have changed hands. I am seizing 5. Klara is seizing 5, sorry. And 4 has not changed hands yet. Looking at objectives. I can now do Terrify, Outflank, or Seize. I can't do Seize 4. I can do Outflank, which would get me 2, I believe. Outflank. No enemy units within 12 inches of the center of the battlefield is 2 victory points, so I'll probably do that. To get 2 victory points on Terrify, I would need 3 or more enemy units to fail a morale test. They've only had 1, so I can just get 1 victory point out of that. But for the moment, I am going to cash in Outflank, getting 2 victory points. Chavel's Troupe have failed to seize 1. They failed to seize 2. How did... I can't believe I just wiped them. Whoa. Oh, no. No. I've learnt my lesson. I'm not undoing that. They did not wipe any units off with volley fire. They did not seize 5. So they can't score any more victory points. Now, how did these units come off? On turn 3, the ghouls... I'm going to have to label them Ghouls 1 and Ghouls 2, I think. The ghouls did kill crossbowmen. I do believe that Chavel routed. So even though a lot of damage was done to him, I don't believe anyone's actually going to be able to claim XP for that, for doing damage to him that's going to cause him to rout. None of the units have actually been taken off the board on Klara's side yet, so that's not going to be good for Chavel's Troupe. Klara's Horde, however, we're going to have a really short turn 4. Klara's Horde have basically already won the game at this point. So they have cashed in Outflank for 2 victory points. And I'm going to turn in Volley Fire. I'm going to discard Volley Fire for Chavel's Troupe to see if I can get something that I can actually score on round 4. So we're going to quickly do round 4 because there's not really much combat to be done. I don't think any combat can actually be done. I could do combat. I don't need to do combat though. But the first thing to do is see if there is... the first thing to do is probably to clear off the dice. And then draw some more cards. So 62 for Chavel. 62 is... Spellbreaker. No. I do not. There are no wizards, and destruction is not possible. 51. I haven't had 51. I have already. I've just discarded 51, so it's not in the deck to draw. 43 is not one that is already on the list. So 43. for Chavel is hold the line. Have at least 3 units within your deployment zone, whilst no enemy units are within your deployment zone. This card cannot be scored at the end of round 1. Now, I think that this is something that I should not discard. I've been discarding cards because they've been impossible, but that's been because they were impossible at the start of the game, before the game even started. Like, you don't have a wizard in the warband list. You don't have a model with tough 5 in the warband list. That isn't the case here. What is the case here is they had 3 units. Now they've only got 1 unit left. But so yeah, I think that hold the line is the go, and it's not going to be something they can score. So that is unfortunate. For Klara, however, 63. 63 is not something that she already had drawn. 63 is Cleanse the Skies. There are no flying units in the warband list. 55, I think she's already drawn. Yeah, she's got that in the hand at the moment. Terrify. 43. Not currently in the list. 43, hold the line. I just rolled this. This is possible. How many victory points is that worth? 1 victory point. So it's not really worth it. 43, hold the line. Okay. So Terrify is possible to do because they've had 1 unit route. But otherwise, it's not really. I mean, I don't think it's really necessary to. Well, okay, so technically, Chavel goes first. Chavel is going to. We're going to retreat these over here, because then they're going to survive the encounter. We won't have to worry about rolling to see if they live. They don't think that anyone can attack them. Yeah. So they have activated, which means that I know that I can move around here to take this thing, and I don't need to activate any other units. We can go straight into scoring. So the first thing to do is to see if these guys pass their morale test. It's not going to matter either way. They fail their morale test, so they actually scatter off the board. Just in case that matters. This now belongs to Klara. This means that Klara can do Terrify or Seize 4. Can't do Hold the Line. Terrify. I'm pretty sure I can only get 1. Yep. 3 units must fail a morale test. That wasn't possible. That's okay. 1 unit fails a morale test. We will put that in for 1 victory point. Chavel's Troupe do not get to. They did not seize 1. They did not seize 5. They did not hold the line. So that is it for round 4. And we move into the cleanup. Checking for casualties. Oh. I forgot about random events again. At the beginning of each round, players must roll 1 die, and on a 5+, a random event happens. I even talked about one of the random events that happened in the previous game at the beginning, and then I just forgot about them. Okay, yeah, so their game is over. Mission goals. Winning warband gets 2 VP and 10 points, while the losing warbands get 30 points instead. So, winning warband. Klara's Horde. Game win. Gets 10 points. Game win. And 2 victory points. I think that's where that goes, and we get 7 here. Orton, however, gets a game loss, gets 30 points, and he's got 3 victory points on the board. They now both have 2. So we can walk through here. Is that everything? So Chavel's Troupe are actually in the lead with 5.5 points still. While everyone else, Litwin's Scouts and Klara's Horde are both tied in second for 4th. And the Orton Expedition is in last place, but not far behind with 3.5 points. Closing up the game, though, the next thing to do is check for casualties. Each of the major models in a unit were knocked out or stunned at the end of the game. Then that unit counts as a casualty. Note that units that routed don't count as casualties. What about a unit that routed because it was stunned? Question mark. I'm gonna count it as routed because it wasn't knocked out at the end of the game. It had routed before the end of the game. So regular units. For every unit that is a casualty, roll 1 die and check to see what happens. So this guy routed, this guy routed, and this guy routed. I'm going to stand you back up. I'll put you back to 0 and stand you back up. I know that one of these has wounds on it. Just cleaning up for next game as well as we do this. Okay, so the crossbowmen. 4. I'm pretty sure that means that they are fine. Yeah? Recovered. The swordsman also recovered, so they have no issues there. Hero units is fine. Earning experience. Units earn XP for the following things. Surviving a mission. Everyone survived. I believe I have decided that that does mean that everyone survives. XP game. No one knocked out a unit, no one knocked out a hero. So that's it for them. For Chavel's units, they all just gain 1 XP. Their status is routed. The spearmen were also routed. Infantrymen recovered. And the marksmen recovered. Klara's units survived. Everyone survived. Now, this is the thing we're going to have to say. We're going to have to say Ghouls 1 and Ghouls 2 in the future. Currently, they don't have different amounts of XP, though, so that is fine. Now, we did decide that everyone survives. The Spearman knocked out a unit for an extra point, I believe. Knocking out a unit. And the Ghouls knocked out the Crossbowmen. So we're going to say Ghouls 1. So they get 2. And they get 2. And no one's going to be leveling up, I don't think, because that's everyone else has not enough points. But that is okay. Now that experience has been earned, we look at spending our experience and recruiting new units, which I will do off stream. I don't even know what word I'm supposed to use anymore. So, looking at the leaderboard, Klara's Horde win the game and tie for second place on the overall tournament. Chavel's Troupe, despite losing, are still in the lead, but not by much. They have a total of 11 points over 2 games, making for a final score of 5.5, whereas both Klara's Horde have a total score of 4, which is made of 8 points spread over 2 games, tying with Litwin Scouts. So, moving ahead, they're going to have slightly higher point scores. I believe I need to add another 10 points to Klara's Horde because they won. So they also mission success for an extra point, 10 points. They will have 200 points to spend for the next mission. And so, yeah, we're going to be going into mission 3. I'm not sure yet what I'll be doing there. I'm wanting to try games with more people on the board, but I might do missions 3 and 4 as 2v2s again, and then leave mission 5 to be a 4v4. I think that's probably the plan. So that will give us another 5 sessions of this, 5 games. So hope to see you there. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you've got any feedback. I did try skipping deployment and trying to make things a little bit quicker because of that. And if you've actually listened to this point, thank you very much. I hope that spreadsheets aren't too boring for you, but I kind of expect that they were going to be for most people. In any case, thanks very much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.